joining us. Hi, Kim Hester here. I'm glad that you're joining us if you're on air with us. Jamal will be joining us in a second. And this hangout, we're going to talk about why a home based business? I've been an entrepreneur for the past 10 years. And on my journey, I've learned so much, went through so many trials and tribulations. And just a little bit about my story before we get into the topic. I first was a tax accountant. Hi, Kim Hester here. I'm glad that you're joining us if you're on air with us. Jamal will be joining us in a second. And this hangout, we're going to talk about, why a home-based business? Okay, let me close that. Okay, so sorry. So back to where I was at. I started as a tax accountant. I went to college like most people do, went into accounting, later got certified as a certified public accountant. I'm a licensed CPA in the state of New Jersey, worked in corporate for 7 years, made great money, but hated it. I hated it so much that I ate away my pain, taking full responsibility, ate away my pain, ate like crap, went from a college athlete to someone who was overweight, pre-diabetic, just not myself. And I teamed up with Jamal. We were friends then. He was always interested in natural health, and he helped me and gave me information. And it just sparked a passion for me to research and implement and learn all these things so that I could reclaim my health back. And along that journey, I decided that I wanted to pursue it as a career. So I went to colon hydrotherapy school, massage therapy. I took countless classes and training in alternative health. And we've opened our holistic center where we still own it, going on 8.5 years. Now, on that journey, there was a lot of mistakes that was made. And what we did was we left corporate and went in head first. And that's Jamal on there. We went on head first. There you go. Watch your lighting because I think it's kind of bright. But we went in head first. And just dove in. And doing that, it was so much fun and so exhilarating and just so refreshing to just do something that you're passionate about. But we made a lot of mistakes. We've lost some money just because we were wet behind the ears. We did not go to school to learn how to be true entrepreneurs. We were trained to be employees, and an employee mindset versus an entrepreneur or business owner mindset is two separate lanes on the highway. And even though we were slowly separating ourselves from being an employee, we had to learn a lot of things firsthand with opening our business. So, a lot of people don't want to go through that, especially as you get older and you have a family and you have more priorities and responsibilities, because Jamal and I, when we started, we weren't married. We didn't have our daughter yet. We were in our mid to late 20s. So we didn't have a huge responsibility. It was just us. But a lot of people don't want to take that plunge. A lot of people don't want to take that risk. They want to be a little bit more calculated, like mitigate their risk and do something a little bit more safer. And that's why the home-based business industry is so big. According to the businessforhome.org website, for every 12 seconds, someone is opening a home-based business in the United States. That's how big this industry is. I can remember my first introduction into the home-based business industry. I was introduced with a company that rhymes with Ramway. Most people have heard of them. That company has been around for so long. So many people have seen so many success in that company. And I can remember that was my first taste into a home-based business. And it just opened my eyes, because when I first got into that company, I was still in corporate and I was miserable and I wanted to find a way out. So before I even we opened our holistic center, I dibbled and dabbled in that company, and it changed my life forever. Self-development, that's the first time I learned of self-development, audios, reading books, going to the events. We were all in at the time. My friend, we were in together. And I learned so much about the home-based business industry, but I was still wet behind the ears. So many people, when you get into a home-based business industry, you get caught up in the hype of it, the marketing aspect aspect of, make money from home. You could leave your job. But when you get into the trenches of it and you realize that I have to learn some things here, I have to develop and I have to grow to be more attractive to the marketplace, that's where kind of a lot of people tend to start jumping and hopping around. And I think the industry, the home-based business industry, kind of gets a knock for it because, it's the joke of hitting up your friends and family to join your business. But a lot of times you start there because you don't have the skills necessary to do any marketing. But one of the things I've learned with the home-based business industry is it's a profession. And just because you spent $20 to get into something, it's not a $20 business. You have to count yourself and your business to see success. Jamal, did you want to expound on, kind of how people treat a home-based business when they just start out?
Yeah, sure. I'm having some technical difficulties over here, so just work with me. Yeah, greetings everyone. Hang on just 1 second here.
Okay.
All right. Okay. You know what the problem is when it comes to how people go about home-based businesses is that, and Kim, you mentioned this in one of your blog posts, a lot of people approach home-based businesses as hobbies. Think about what you do with a hobby. Whenever you have a hobby, it's something that you work on every now and then. Let's say if your hobby is art, you may paint a portrait. You may do that once a week. Some people might do it a couple times a month, if that. It's something that you enjoy and it's a passion of yours, but it's something that you don't do that often. And a lot of times people approach their home-based businesses as if they were hobbies. They put in very minimum effort and they expect major results. And a lot of times the reason why we put in minimum work is because we don't understand what it really takes, what you have to put in your business in order for it to be successful. Think about your job, the typical 9-to-5 job. You're there for 8 hours, 7, 8, 9 hours, and you're working hard on that job. And everyone that's there, they're putting in those 7, 8, 9 hours, and they're working the entire time. And because of that, whatever business you're working for, most likely it's a success. But when it comes to our own business, we want to put minimum time into it, and we expect more results or equal results as if, we were putting in 7, 8, 9 hours, and it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter what type of business you have, whether it's from home or whether you're starting your own brick and mortar business. You have to be willing to put in the time and the effort. So if you're putting the hobby type of effort and a hobby level of time, you should expect hobby level results. You should only expect to, make a little bit of money from it. And then a lot of times people get frustrated because they're not seeing the results that they thought that they should achieve. So it's very important that if you're expecting maximum results, you have to put in maximum effort.
Right, definitely. And I wrote about that in the report, and I'll touch on that report before we end our hangout that I want to give away for free. That if you treat your business like a job, then it'll always be an uphill battle because, when you work for someone, it's like, you feel like it's guaranteed money. You trade time for dollars. So if you make this much an hour and you work the 10 hours, you're going to get your check in 2 weeks or in a week. But business is so different from that because you keep working to achieve a desired result. So sometimes you might not know how many hours you need to put in. Sometimes you might have to learn some things or grow and develop. But in business, if you have the right type of business, you don't trade time for dollars. If you plug into a system that is proven to work and people have seen success in it, you put the work into the system and have the system work for you. So if you're generating income while you're not physically working, and that's the difference between an entrepreneur and business. But it's, if you come in with the entrepreneur mindset, it's so easy to get overwhelmed, and I've been trying this for 3 6 months and I'm not seeing any results. I can remember for us, especially with our brick and mortar business, in the beginning, we were working with nothing, and we willed and we saw the end goal that we wanted, and we kept working until we got there. It wasn't, if I don't see any money by the end of this month, I'm leaving, or I'm going back to corporate. It wasn't an option. And but you have to take that same mentality into your home-based business. It's, what's my desired end goal, and I'm going to get there no matter what. And along the way, you have to plug into a system. Most companies have a proven system that they spent millions of dollars in researching. It's just, it's not the system, it's you. And if you can just take, your ego out of it, and I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to this camera, if you take your ego out of it and just realize that I don't know everything. Sales is a skill. Marketing is a skill set that most people don't have. Only a fortunate few are born with that innate skill, but most people have developed it over time, and they invested in their education, in their skill set, and in themselves to hone and develop those skills, and to be an asset to the marketplace, to be able to solve people's problems with their product or service. I always mention this in my videos. You don't make money. The only way you make money in business is by selling stuff. So if you're not able to sell anything, if you're not able to show whatever your business has and show how it can solve a problem or provide a solution to someone, then it's going to be an uphill battle, and it's about learning those skills in order to do that most effectively. I thought you was, I thought you,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
here,
Well, what I wanted to say was that just talking about, when we talk about home-based businesses, we're talking about um, business that you pretty much run from your home. So that could be a network marketing company, a direct sales company, something that you're running out of your home. It's your home-based business. And those pretty, like a home-based business, when you're taking on, when you're joining a company, that's pretty much like a franchise. You're running a franchise from home, and then you may have a business where you're building it from the ground up and you're running it from your home. That's a home-based business, and I think that part of the problem with why people aren't successful in a lot of home-based businesses is because of the way that the businesses are marketed. A lot of times they're marketed as being like super simple, super easy. All you have to do is just get in and you're just going to start making all of this money. Or a lot of times we see these opportunities and they look really, really good. And we just say, oh, wow, this is a genius idea, or I love this product. And we think that just because it's really good, that it's just going to go flying off the shelf. Everyone's going to want to jump on board, and it's just going to be super easy. But then when we get involved and it's not super easy and no one is interested, and you don't understand why isn't anyone interested, this is a no-brainer. The reason why is because a lot of times we got sold on the ease of it, so we think that we can coast. But that's furthest from the truth. Like, if you really look at people that are doing very well in home-based businesses, they're working their butts off. I mean, they are working super hard. And when you hear their stories and you pick their brains, you find out that they're going above and beyond the things that the company requires them to do. And that's the reason why they're so successful. So really the first thing that it comes down to when we're talking about home-based businesses is your mindset. Your mindset is the first thing, because you have to go into it with a certain type of mindset. And we can get into that mindset on this hangout, but really the mindset and really understanding what you're getting into and the importance of it, that's really the most important thing when it comes to the foundations of building a home-based business.
Yeah, I mentioned that before you came on, Jamal, that when I was in first in, well, it rhymes with Ramway, that was one of the biggest takeaways for me, was the self-development aspect. And that piece has helped me, in my life and in my businesses in terms of they always say, your success depends upon who do you think you are and the stories that you tell yourself in your head. And when I was younger, I did struggle with self-confidence when I was younger. And then as I got older and worked on myself, and, not to say that you're never fearful, but it's just how you handle the fear. But self-development and mindset training is the foundation just for a healthy life. Life, can be tough. There are so many challenges and lessons that we continuously face. But when you continue to work on your mindset, when you continue to work on yourself, getting clarity on what you want in your life, knowing that you deserve the life that you want, you move through life a little differently. You move through life um, looking to take it on and tackle it instead of being a victim. And with a home-based business, the mindset piece is so important because you're going to get told no. You're going to go through some rough patches. You're going to go through periods of self-doubt. But when you consistently work on your mindset, and you can do it through listening to audios, reading powerful books, going to seminars. These are all things that Jamal and I constantly do, because you always have to reignite that light. You always have to fuel that fire. And the best way is to align yourself with people that are successful. And if you can't physically be in their presence, then you want to read their books. You want to listen to your audios. You want to stay inspired, because it's so easy to get down. There's so many people that are negative in the world, who have doubt, who are skeptical, who, don't think, they just think that the lot that they're living in life, that's just all they can do, that they don't want to continue to grow. But when you constantly work on your mindset, when you constantly continue to grow, just your consciousness and awareness opens up to what's really out there and what's possible. And, with the home-based business, so many people can see success. And as Jamal was saying, I just want to touch on that. When you see people that have their breakthroughs, their serious breakthroughs, like Jamal was saying, they're going above and beyond. They're grinding. As one of our leaders, David, said, you have to go through a period of grinding it out, just like Jamal and I did in our brick and mortar business in the first couple of years. We were grinding it out, like grinding out 7 days a week for a year, just putting in the work to get our business where it needs to go, not looking back, just moving forward and looking at what we wanted to accomplish. And the same thing is true with a home-based business. When you treat it like a business and you plug into a system and you continuously keep grinding, keep improving, keep working on your mindset, you're only gonna see success. But there's no timetable, because everyone is different. Everyone has what I call like our own head trash, things that have happened to us in the past that we're carrying with us that we have to release and let go of, and in order to step to our true power.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to a home-based business, I think that it's important to understand that there is no difference between a home-based business and any other business. It's the same. The amount of effort that it takes for you to put into a corporation, the amount of effort that it takes for you to put in the brick and mortar business, it's the same amount of effort and energy that you need to put into a home-based business. And once you understand that, you can go into the situation with a lot more clarity, because that's important. But at the same time, starting a home-based business, it has its advantages because you don't have the same type of overhead. For us to start our brick and mortar business, I mean, our overhead, it was over $20,000 to start our our home-based business. It was over 20,000. It might have been over $30,000 just to get it started.
You
And
mean
you know, the average what'd you say?
the brick and mortar
Oh
business?
yeah, brick and mortar. To start our brick and mortar, yeah, it was probably over $30,000. And the average home-based business, it might cost you a few $1,000s. And a lot of them out there maybe only a few $100s. You know, so the overhead is a lot less, and you don't have the same monthly overhead that you have to constantly try to keep up with. So it's easier to go into profit when you have a home-based business. So it's really an opportunity. It's a serious opportunity that you just have to be prepared for when you go into it. So just going back a little bit to the mindset piece is understanding what you're getting into, and just really seeing it as an opportunity. It's not easy. You know, if you hear that it's easy, that's just, you know, the marketing aspect of it, but it doesn't matter what business you get into, it's not easy. So once you get it in your mind that this is not going to be easy, but it's attainable. It's attainable, and you have to push yourself, because let's think about this, and let's be honest. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. But it's not that many people that are branching out to do home businesses. The numbers are growing, but everyone isn't going out doing it, because it takes a certain level of effort and consistency in order to be successful at it. You know, and go ahead. You gonna say something?
Well, no, I was just saying, it's not easy, but it's attainable. But you have to put the time in, and
Yeah.
also I feel that some companies, it's less than $100 to start. That's just to start it. But sometimes what people kind of match the investment, the equivalent, like they match the investment with their work ethic, because if you spent $10,000 to get started in something, or 20,000, you're gonna put everything into it because you don't want to lose that. But sometimes, with the home-based business, it's so easy sometimes when you don't put that much in to kind of get a lax, don't have a sense of urgency. Most people that really see that breakthrough success really fast are the ones where their backs are against the wall. Because when you have no other option, you're going to do whatever you're going to do. You're going to lose sleep. You're going to invest in yourself. You're going to keep grinding. You're going to keep working until you see results. But a lot of times people do a home-based business part-time while they're working, and then they build it, in their spare time, which is perfectly fine. But their reason why they started it isn't big enough to light that fire under them, to have that work ethic of sacrifice and determination and plugging in and keep plugging forward and taking action and course correcting along the way. Because a lot of times people don't want to make a mistake and look silly. But you're going to look silly. You're going to look a little silly. You're going to make mistakes. But like as Les Brown says, so what? You just keep moving forward, because your why, your reason why you're doing it, is bigger than being embarrassed. You're willing to take a little, some bumps and bruises to learn the right way. And as one of our mentors, David, was saying, one of the greatest feedback is pain and failure. Because if you're willing to continue to grow, and you're willing to course correct and analyze the situation, take action, look at the situation, see how you can improve it, that feedback of pain or of going through something that, wasn't so pleasant will cause you to grow so much faster, because you got instant feedback. You didn't read about it in the book. You went through it. So, sometimes when you do a home-based business, especially part-time, it's so easy to kind of get a little lax and to get distracted and not put the time into your business, because there's no sense of urgency.
Yeah, you touched on a really important part about like the amount of skin you have in the game, as you will. Like if you've put in $30,000 and you've got some serious skin in the game, so the amount of effort that you're gonna put in when you got $30,000 on the line is going to be tremendous, because you don't want to lose your money. You want it to pay off. But if you've only put in $300, the effort or the fear of that loss isn't there as much, so you don't have the same type of firepower. But the truth of the matter is that your business is going to transform into the worth that you place on it. If you run your business like $1 million company, then it's going to produce $1 million. If you run your business like it's $1,000 company, it's going to produce $1,000. So you have to run your business the way that you want it to produce. So if you want it to be a big company, you have to treat it like it's a big company, and you have to put that amount of effort into the business. And this is a lesson for us that we learned late. We learned late. But it's a valuable lesson. So we're sharing that with you now as you get started with your business, and just to understand that your business is only going to be as big as you make it, as big as you treat it. And being consistent with it is really the key.
Right. Yeah, consistency in anything in life, you're going to see success in it if you're doing the right things, because you don't want to practice the wrong things.
Right.
And we can't stress, continuing to keep growing and aligning yourself with people who are successful, whether it's a virtual type of mentorship, because someone at the top is not going to just pick anyone to mentor. Like, you're going to have to be producing for them to mentor you. But just from a distance, like with the internet and everything, it's so much easier to connect and to follow in the footsteps of someone that is seeing results and success. And that's another thing for Jamal and I that we learned late. Just the importance of mentorship and how that collapses time frames, because when you align yourself with someone who is successful, that wants to see you succeed, not that you're not going to make any mistakes or errors, but they can help you so much, navigate through things that they went through that maybe you're going to miss. You're still going to have to go through your own struggles and learn, but when you have that mentorship, you avoid so many other pitfalls. Certain things that should be in your consciousness and is not, is going to be there. And Jamal and I always talk about, like, when we started our holistic center, like, man, if we had a mentor, that our business would have grown so much faster, and we would have avoided so many obstacles.
Yeah, that the mentorship that's probably the most valuable thing that you can have as a business owner. I remember when we were first getting started in our business, a friend of ours, they had a business as well. They owned a bookstore. And we were just getting started, and they had their bookstore for a few years now. And they were actually in the process of going out of business, unfortunately. They were at the tail end of their business. And, I was picking his brain just about, where he went wrong at, and just getting some advice. And one of the things that he told me was that he should have had mentorship, and he was advising me to surround myself with business people that were seasoned and that really understood the cycles of business and how business worked, and to get mentorship. He was saying that that's the reason why he feels that he wasn't as successful as he could be, because he didn't have the proper mentorship early. And it's unfortunate that I didn't listen. I didn't really understand what he was saying exactly, because if I knew, I would have dived in a little bit deeper in the subject matter. But what he was saying was very valuable, and it's unfortunate we had to learn the hard way. But when it comes to business, the mentorship is really the biggest thing that you can align yourself with. To have someone that can give you some firsthand experience, because there's nothing like mentorship. I mean, you can go to all of the schools in the world, but when you get into the the real world and you have to apply this stuff, you learn from real experiences. So if you can work with people that have already been there, they already know the game, and they understand business more than you do, you want to align yourself. You want to try to study so that you could avoid the pitfalls that a lot of people fall into. Most businesses don't succeed. 90 90% of businesses don't make it. And in home-based business, I don't know the statistics, and Kim, I don't know if you have the statistics, but I'm I'm pretty positive that it's probably more than 90% of
Mhm.
home-based businesses that don't make it. You know, it's a small few, 10% or less, people they don't make it because we fall into a lot of the traps that we just don't know about. So mentorship and having mentorship or being a part of a team so that you can work with others and you can push each other and then have a team leader that can mentor you is invaluable.
Yeah, I think that's one of the many benefits of the home-based business industry is when you can get access to people who are making six figures a month. Um, you know, you normally have to pay $1,000 an hour to get some type of mentorship from them. But in the home-based business industry, when you're able to connect with leaders, you're able to get closer to leaders for a fraction of the cost because these skills that you're learning within your business, you're learning communication skills, you're learning leadership skills, you're learning team building skills, you're learning corporate tax law, business law. You're learning how to be a business person. You know, all these things is going on within the home-based business if you take it seriously. And that mentorship, as Jamal was saying, in the team aspect, because it was just me and Jamal when we opened our center. And I mean, we're great, we're married and we're great friends and great business partners. But, if you're by yourself in the business and you're going through struggles and, you're trying to figure things out, it can get pretty lonely. But when you can connect with like-minded individuals moving in the same direction, vibrating at the same frequency, who wants to continue to grow and go after their dreams, those are the kind of people you want in your life to walk with you. And one of the things I want to touch on now is just, to answer the question personally, for Jamal and I to answer the question personally, so why a home-based business? And, like I mentioned in the beginning of this hangout, we've been entrepreneurs for 10 years in our brick and mortar. We started out, part-time, on the side, and then we eventually went head in and got an office space and opened our own center. And we've learned valuable lessons. I've grown so much as an individual from going through so many obstacles, challenges, persevering. I've grown so much, and Jamal has grown so much. But 5 years ago, we were blessed with the birth of our beautiful little girl, Saora, who's 5 years old now. She just turned 5 in January. And when she came into our lives, things changed for us. We used to be in our center 6 days a week at times, putting in countless hours because, as we mentioned, as an entrepreneur, you're not trading time for dollars. You're always implementing, fine-tuning, working, doing something to improve your business. And we didn't have the proper training to set up our business correctly. So we were the ones in there working hard all the time, which is okay because you learn a lot, but we learned our lesson years later. And when Sora came in our lives, two things happened. Like I said, one, we as parents wanted to spend more time as a family, and not, we wanted to spend more time as a family. I didn't want to have the guilt of always having to leave my child in daycare or leaving her. I wanted my daughter to be around me and Jamal more times than she's away from us. And by having our own business and working all those hours, and that wasn't my priority anymore. So we were on a quest to find other ways to generate income so that we can work less in our business. The second reason why we were looking for a home-based business is when I just had Saora 5 years ago. I had a home birth. We had her at home, and we had a plan. We had a birth plan. We had savings. We had, I had our plan. I'm going to take off 4 months, go back, come back to the business part-time. We had our strategy. And we got hit with a major financial blow that was unexpected. And it really put us in a crunch. I mean, it would have just killed most people. It was a death blow. I mean, we barely hung on. We almost lost everything. And from there, it started us on the quest to say, we put all of our blood, sweat, and tears into this business, but it was so close to being destroyed. Why? Why is that? And we, through our training and learning, as when Jamal and I mentioned, we consistently and continuously keep learning and learning and learning and implementing, was that, Robert Kiyosaki, one of our mentors, was saying, we went from being an employee to working in a job to owning our job. So we were still trading time for dollars. And that major financial blow that we had when Seora was born was the wake-up call, because you could only have so much savings in your life. Eventually, if you cannot replace that money in your bank, you're going to go through some tight times. So we know we wanted to develop multiple income streams, because multiple income streams is your is your insurance policy. You won't have to worry if you build a business that has residual money coming in and month out. That was how we could have eliminated the whole stress that we went through 5 years ago. And that started us on the quest of researching different ways. And that's why we're passionate about the home-based business industry. That's why we're active within it, because this is the stuff that you don't learn in school. This is the stuff that if people had this information, if our children had this information early on in their life, the development of multiple income streams, it could take them so much further in their life and reduce the amount of stress that they're going through. I don't know if you want to share with that, Jamal.
Yeah, I do want to share. Just really quick, for everyone that's just tuning in, if you're just tuning in, I'm Jamal. This is Kim, and we're talking about home-based businesses, and pretty much the topic is, so why a home-based business? And if you're new to us, right below we have a link so that you can click for the 7 most common reasons why people struggle in their home-based business. And that's just going to give you some insight so that you can avoid some common pitfalls. And that's what we're discussing right now, just how to really get off on the right track with your home-based business. And, right now we still have our brick-and-mortar business. We still have it. But at the same time, we're trying to expand and we're trying to learn so that we don't get ourselves keep repeating the same cycles and staying in the same situation. We're really trying to create multiple businesses. A lot of times when we think about multiple businesses, we think about multiple brick and mortar businesses, but you can have multiple businesses online and multiple investments and things like that. And that's one of the things that we understand. We understand the importance of having multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. So you have to put your time, your sweat, your tears, your blood into a particular business. You build it up, and you get it to a point where it's self-automated, and then you can move on to other things. Like Kim was saying, we ran into trouble with our brick-and-mortar business because basically if we didn't walk through the door, we didn't get paid. And that's a problem when you have a little one and you want to put more time and effort into her and into your family. It's very difficult because as you pull back from your business, you're pulling back from your income. So to be able to go have a mobile business in the sense where whether you're home or whether you're out, you still have a way to create cash flow. So a home-based business is powerful, and it doesn't have to be one or the other. You don't have to, either you're working a 9-to-5 type of traditional job or a home-based business. No, you can start your home-based business. That's the beauty of it, because you don't have this huge overhead. You can start your home-based business while you're still at work, and you can put, once you get home, you put your work and your effort in the evening times or whenever it is that you have consistently every day on the weekends to build up your business, and you create this other stream of income for yourself. And then if you decide that you want to leave your 9-to-5 job and you're in a position to do that, then go for it. But ideally, you're in a good position because you have the time to really develop your own business. That's what we did. with our brick and mortar business, what we did was me and Kim both, we worked for 2 years with our regular 9 to 5 job, and then eventually we left our 9 to 5 job, and then we transitioned into our brick and mortar business. So it has a lot of advantages when it comes to home-based businesses. I mean, you're in control of your own reality. You're in control of your income, and that's powerful. It's scary and it's powerful at the same time because now it's all on you. You just can't show up and coast and get a check or rely on someone else to get a check. You really have to put your energy out there to get paid.
Yeah, definitely. We always say it's not for the weak, but I wouldn't have it any other way because it's
Right.
all on you. Or I wouldn't say I don't want it to be all on me, but my potential is unlimited as an entrepreneur. And just before I go into the last piece, as Jamal was saying, well, we're going to be here every Saturday, 6 p.m., Conscious Living TV, just sharing with you so much information on how to live more consciously. And basically, that means live the life that you want and you deserve. And we're going to be here every Saturday at 6 p.m. One last thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of a home-based business. Jamal mentioned that free report, 7 most common reasons why people struggle in their home-based business. That's a report that we want to offer to you for free because the information in that report is things that we have learned, that we have implemented, and that has helped us to start seeing success. And these are the things that we've learned over time, and we just want to share that for you. So if you want to get a copy of that free report, just click that link below, enter your name and email in, and we will send that to you immediately. And one other last piece that I want to touch on is something that's near and dear to most Jamal and my heart. Being in the holistic health industry for 10 years, we've seen so many people, we've met so many great people, we have helped so many people to reverse their imbalances using holistic health methods. But there's a common denominator that we see with a lot of people that come in, and it's stress from 2 major areas: lack of time or a lack of money. Those 2 areas causes so much stress in everyone. Especially if you have a family, if you're working all the time, you're not able to spend the amount of time that you want together. So many families are spending so much time apart only to just convene on the weekends, and you feel stressed because there's only 2 days, you know what I'm saying? And then Sunday evening you have to get ready for Monday. And then a lack of money is a major stressor. It's a major stressor on relationships, on people. You can't live the lifestyle that you want. These 2 areas we see affect so many people, and it is our mission to help change that. And we have a mission where we want to help 10 people to make $1,000 a month from home. That is our mission, and we're going to do it. We're going to help, and we want you to be one of them. $1,000 can change so many people's lives. It can alleviate so much stress. It can help you gain back some time if you can pay to have someone clean your house, pay to have a nanny come, and so you can have date night. For couples, $1,000 can help you have date night once a month and not have it be a financial strain. For all you mothers out there, it can help you to take care of you and pamper yourself by having a spa day once a month, or for families that haven't traveled in a while, this can allow you to have that vacation that you always wanted. But $1,000 in a month can really, help so many people to take that financial burden and that time burden off of your back. So we're on a mission to help 10 people to make $1,000 a month from home, utilizing the system that we're currently using. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to join our mission, then just click that link below, enter your name and email in, and learn more about our mission. I don't know if you want to share anything, Jamal.
Yeah, just in regards to our mission, the latest study that they did, I read about it last year, and it was just talking about how the average household just to make an extra $500 a month would change their life. Just it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but $500 a month will change the average person's life. And our mission is $1,000 a month. So $500 will change lives. We're imagining that $1,000 is really going to change life as well. So that's our mission for the year. 10 people with that. So yeah, we're going to be here every Saturday. The topics are always going to be different topics to try to really help you to develop the skill set that you need to just be have a greater skill set, whether it's your home-based business or your health or your financial IQ, just to really help people to grow and expand their consciousness overall.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to it. Come back next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and lock arms and join forces with us. Click that link below, enter your name and email in. Grab that free report, 7 of the most common reasons people struggle in their online business, and also learn more about our mission to help 10 people to earn $1,000 each and every month. So with that, we're going to be signing off. Have a great weekend, and we look forward to joining you next week for our Conscious Living TV show. Have a great evening, everyone.
All right, peace and prosperity.